Hello, welcome to episode 189 of New Meta Podcast. We're also very close to another final countdown, the 10 countdown to episode 200, and we'll see what happens then. But that's sort of crept up on us a little bit.
You think we're going to make it?
On current,
we'd already been there if we hadn't gone on holiday for a year.
Yeah, that's for certain. I don't know. I reckon we'll make it there. We'll make it there. There'll be TI happenings, but yeah, at the current rate, it won't be like we won't rocket to the finish line. It'll be like a dribble over. But to be fair, like summer's over now. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have anything now in terms of like holidays or whatever.
We'll smack out 10 TI episodes. Just boost our way to the finishing line.
The dailies, yeah, the good old dailies could do. Yeah, so talking of TI, that is what we're going to be talking about a bit today. Also, we'll be talking about our own games as usual, and some observations and stuff from that. The PA Persona has just landed on our doorsteps, so I will do a quick mention of that. But in general, how are you doing, Marco?
Decent, yeah. I'm looking forward to watching TI in its entirety. I've not had the chance to play that many games. I had a couple ranked mouldy games, which I will maybe talk about. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing Pro Dota. It's always quite exciting, the lead up to TI. Albeit, the teams that are going, it's a little bit of a sad.
Well, there's two more teams that might spice up a bit coming out of that qualifier, but we'll get to that in a minute. Adam, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, I'm good, I reckon. Not Dota-wise, but everything else-wise, I suppose.
Well, that's the right way around to have it, I think. Overall, balanced.
Yeah, it's not even just the game we just played. It's like every game.
Yeah. I knew the game you would play would be a calamity.
Why?
Well, that's your fault then, right?
Well, no, I was like, if I play this game... I mean, this isn't the reason I didn't play, but I thought to myself, if I played and I'm picking mid-quap and I'm thinking I'm going to do work and I'm going to feed...
Would have loved to have a mid-quap that game.
What did you have instead of mid-quap?
Just a necro. The game was more of a... Because we had a 5 Marana, though?
Yeah, that was rough. The last game we played, that's a good energy. Get the energy going for the pod, get the negative vibes flowing into the pod. Feels good. Yeah, that was a rough game. I've played 2 today. Both have been absolutely appalling. So that's exactly what you want pre-pod. Shall we do games first, or do you want to do TI first, or do you want to do a little shout out to PA Persona? I'm gonna let you decide, Marco.
Well, maybe the PA Persona first, because I have it open.
Sounds good.
Very cool. Very impressed. It's...
Have you seen it? Did you go to the Dota subreddit?
What happened on the Dota subreddit?
I think it's absolute trash and they hate it. I can't believe you're just like, this is amazing. This is the first person with a positive opinion ever.
How can you... What's the critiques? It feels like I'm playing a new hero.
They say the animations are shit.
What?
They say... I mean, I don't know if they fixed it, but they said it's like missing frames in the walking animation. Like,
oh my god. Give me a break.
They said it's like gliding. Like they said it's really bad.
I've been in a demo for a few minutes.
I haven't demoed it, but
there is nothing up with it. It is really cool.
That's
it feels
why
like I'm playing a new
because you're like, this is amazing. Literally, everyone's like, Valve shit company put out this broken ass Persona.
What? Oh
this is so trash.
It feels like I'm playing World of Warcraft again. I feel like I've got this really cool hero, very different PA. It doesn't feel like PA because it's got the Void Spirit sword, the Darth Maul sword, which when I saw it again I thought, oh, that is Void Spirit's weapon. I was a bit, that's a bit sad. I guess it's a little bit different in its length, but nonetheless, with the full kit and kind of elven hairstyle and clothes and all the animations are really cool. The Q and W and even the crit blood splatter stuff. I'm really impressed. I want to just play PA 10 games in a row, which has to be positive.
I think it's pretty cool as well. I don't think it's like, I'm not like crying about it, but these personas are basically Arcanas, aren't they? I mean, if you think about the previous personas, the Invoker one, again, completely changed the hero, but this one's even more of a change, because Invoker, I guess how much can you change Invoker when like the 3 orbs above his head, when you're actually playing the game, is like 80% of what you see, but I think it's pretty cool.
I think people also really didn't like the attack or the sound effect. But I have like the right click sound. I don't know.
He's just swinging a sword. What is going on?
I mean, yeah, I think they're basically Arcanas at this point. Doesn't it have like 900 voice lines or something? It's a lot of work that goes into that type of stuff.
The Q looks like a Drow Ranger marksmanship rock to me, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just what it looks like.
Yeah,
I liked the W. I thought that was a pretty nifty looking blink strike.
One thing that I think would have been cooler is if they'd done a better blur animation, like, because at the moment when he presses blur, he just does very normal blur. But if he'd done like a slightly cooler animation, that would have been good. But yeah, I like it in general. Anything else we want to say on this? I mean, we've got the Void persona, the Void Arcana, which we talked about.
Is that Arcana? I mean, I get confused these days.
That one is an Arcana.
That one, have we not spoke about it yet? The Elephant Razor lookalike.
We spoke about it last week. The Davy Jones locker.
Davy Jones,
Squid Man.
So, out of all the personas that have been released to date, I really think this is head and shoulders above all of them.
So what have we had?
Maybe
Invoker.
Pudge. Is that it? I've only had 2. And then
Invoker and Pudge and
Anti-Mage. That was pretty
Anti-Mage.
I think this is way better than all of those.
So it's
well, I hold out hope for Crystal Maiden.
I think the CM one could be really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's objectively better than the AM one, right? Because it's like, the AM one is literally the same hero apart from that it's female. This has got way different animations and stuff.
Way different skin and look and...
Yeah, the last one was just like, it's voice lines. Oh, okay, well, there's more. There's Dragon Knight.
Oh, yeah.
And Marana.
Marana's good.
Oh, yeah, the Marana one.
The 2 anime versions.
Yeah.
I can't even picture the Marana one. I just picture Totem again. So, I mean, those two are quite similar again. So this feels pretty new and different. I think it's pretty cool. Doesn't really feel like a Dota hero. I guess we've spoken about it before. It does feel like I'm playing an RPG right now. Maybe the graphics are too good.
See, I actually... Well, I don't know if it's a disagreement, but I like the fact that this persona... I like skins that change the hero to looking like another hero, as opposed to change the hero to be the same hero, but just way more clutter and like lights and annoying stuff like that.
Yeah.
This does feel like a new hero, which is cool.
I'm a bit divided on that point, because I agree, but then I also don't like the point of we've got PA that we've got a new hero that's not a new hero, because it's PA just in disguise.
Yeah.
My perfect ideal would be this skin, but a new hero.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, well, we'll have to wait, I guess, for the TI tease of 2 new heroes or whatever. Or they might do a release now at TI. They like to do that as well, actually. Out now. Grimstroke or whatever.
That might have been the most hype moment.
That was cool, yeah.
More hype than 7.0.
That was like number 2.
Highlight of Marco's life, this number.
Yeah.
Going 7.0.
Oh my god, the number went up. And it skipped all the 6.9s and went straight to 7.00.
New era. I mean, so yeah, if this hero was a POS 1 new hero in this skin, happy days. Still waiting for that POS 1 release. I'll die happy when that happens. anyway.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these new heroes are trending towards POS 1 a bit, aren't they? I mean, like...
scraping the barrel there.
Scraping the barrel, yeah. They're not, like, out-and-out ones, to be fair.
It took us, like, 15 years to get Pudge into the POS 1. We made it eventually.
So we've got two perfect segues here. Segues, perfect. The first one is we've just mentioned POS 1 Pudge, and that's the game I just played, so it's a perfect segue into games. We also just mentioned a new hero being announced at TI as another perfect segment into TI. So I'm going to give you the choice this time, Adam. Where are we going to go next? Games or TI?
Games, I reckon. I have nothing to add to TI, so...
Cool. What do you have to add to games? Darkness.
Yeah, I really hope I'm not trending away from this game. I'm really not enjoying it.
That is really dark, actually. That's peak darkness.
I don't know if I'm so, like, just awful now. Like, I just can't keep up. But, like, just spells trigger me to no end now. All these, just, like, Wind Run makes me want to, like, jump off a bridge. When you play, like, Enchantress. And, I don't know, Glimmer Cape triggers me because no one has detection. This is not just this last game. This has been like every game I've played this week. Zeus makes me really upset because he just gets a mobility spell that does 7 other things. And now you can't catch him. Lena being an insane right clicker and AFK farmer is really annoying too because it just TP side lane, back and forth, and pew pew, kill somebody in 3 right clicks from 900 range, and then they go back to their farming. And you can't be an Enchantress because they go Silver Edge as part of their kit, and then they just break you with 1 right click and then mow you down with the rest of the spells. Dawnbreaker, healing for 1 million and then slamming down. I don't know, man.
That's a lot of complaints.
I feel like with Adam's Dota experience, if you're like, oh, you know, what heroes do you hate? What heroes really get on your skin? The question is, what heroes don't? And like, what spells don't? I feel like you're...
Yeah, I basically hate every hero now, I think.
Yeah, because I remember the other day...
It's not... I hate every hero, yeah, that's on my team and against my team. The pool of heroes I like is getting smaller and smaller, and it's basically Venomancer, Lich, and Crystal Maiden.
I'm on that path. Chikiro only.
Yeah, it's a lot of heroes to hate.
I did try the Force Fin. I think that was kind of user error. It did not work. That was suggested in the Discord. I proceeded to go 1-13 with it. And the 5 Rubik would steal Stormhammer, and he's just better than my hero at that point.
Yeah.
God, that was a triggering Rubik. Yeah, another hero that's triggering, but yeah. You know when a Rubik, in a team fight early on, like when they have level 4 Fade Bolt and ult, so like I guess level 7.
Mm-hmm.
And they use like a casual lift or whatever, so they're already stunning for like a decent chunk. It's a good 1.1 dispel. And then they'll use level 4 Fade Bolt on you. They'll use the like level 4 Spear of Mars that they've stolen off someone. Then they'll spell steal another level 4 nuke off someone in the team fight and use that on you. And it's like suddenly it's like, wow, I just took 2k damage from the Rubik.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes into the game. It's actually nuts when that happens.
Yeah.
It's peak Rubik.
That's you, Stan, when you play POS 4 Rubik.
Yeah, of course. That was like a rhetorical, that was from the perspective of my enemy as opposed to the perspective of me getting one shot by a Rubik in the game I played yesterday.
One of the few games I won this week was on a Rubik 4 that I randomed. And it was like the perfect Rubik game, and that they had Morphling on the other team, so I stole Morph. So I had like a gigaton of HP, and then I had Sakuchi. And if you get like the cooldown on Stolen Spells talent, you have permanent Sakuchi.
So wait, did you have Ags to be able to be strength morphed and have a stolen spell? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I'm just saying, like, once you morph, you
permanently have the strength.
Permanently have max.
What? Wait, really? I didn't know that. So you only have to do it once in the game. And...
God, what year are we in? 2012. Jesus Christ!
You just go full strength, and you're like, I'm good
forever for the whole game.
God.
Yeah, I just stole it in the laning phase, and then I was like, hey,
I've never seen that in the history of DotA.
God.
I mean, you have no armor, but you have like 2k HP.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in a pro game.
What?
Yeah, it's fun.
I've never seen that discussed, and I must have consumed like 2k hours of Dota or something. At least. That's crazy.
And then they had a Primal Beast, so you get the ranged ultimate. That's pretty fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Marco, how have your games been? Any brighter, sunnier periods?
Not brighter, no. I did play 2 ranked. Well, in the last few weeks, I've played a few ranked. The last 2 were pretty painful. So the very last one I played, a 55-minute game, absolute slogfest. My POS 1 Void, Faceless Void, is 6-14-10 in a 55-minute game. Pretty dire. Enemy POS 1 Slorks, 35 kills, 6 deaths, 15 assists. It is light years difference, and it was a really triggering game. Not to be too negative, but it was triggering. We were winning the game 4v5. We had a Bounty Hunter and a POS 2 Death Prophet going ham, both 10k net worth when the enemy calls a 7.5. Running round as a 4-man with a Snapfire and me, Chikiro, wrecking the game 4v5. And what was so frustrating is that this POS 1 Void, I don't know, you could say a account buyer, but it's a high-level account. It wasn't just they felt, they were farming worse than a Guardian would free farm. And I'm not even taking the piss. This is a POS 1 Void who had free farm as we run around winning the game. What's his timings here? 24 minutes he's got Mask of Madness Maelstrom. And I swear to God he had free farm because at 24 minutes we've got 4 of us wrecking kills, track, la-di-da. This guy's not even hitting creeps as efficiently as a Guardian, I swear to God. And then he wouldn't turn up to fights when we're like, come use Chrono, win the game. And then the game goes to 55 minutes and they get this Slark that goes ham and then out carries, and we don't have a core late game carry, and so we end up losing because we can't finish. It was so depressing. 55-minute game, and we've got Herald POS 1. It's just like, come on, what is going on? This doesn't make any sense at all. So that was a bit of a rough loss. And then the one before it was almost too good to be true. Like PMA comms, the start of the match, everyone's all happy. Yep. 15 minutes in, you've got like 3 of the top 4 net worths, including anti-mage. Everything's happy. By 20-25 minutes, just pure mold on the voice, and everyone's whining. And
you love to, that's DotA.
The anti-mage not abandons, but gives up. Void Spirit mid, starts getting flamed. Oh, it was too good to be true. So we ended up losing that.
I think you definitely want a silent beginning to the game over a friendly one.
Yeah, I was a bit like, this is too friendly. Like,
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, fully agree. But yeah, I've just not played that many ranked at all. So they're my last 2.
It's too volatile, isn't it? When you hear someone come on at the start and be like, "Hey guys, like, can you hear me? Like, let's go!" And you're just like, "Oh, this guy's ready to swing hard in the other direction."
Yeah. Oh, interesting times.
Yeah. In terms of my games, I haven't got a whole lot to report. I was on holiday last week. I've played 5 games since coming back. 1 win, 4 losses. So the days of being on a 14 win streak a couple of pods ago are long behind us. The game that we won was a fun one yesterday with the Adam Venno, which is one of the heroes he likes, and he had 20 deaths. So that's a top Adam gameplay. 20 death Venno win. Yeah, so Slardar, we actually had a mid Omni Knight that I was very skeptical of. We were all very skeptical of when he picked it against the OD mid. But he actually carried us like hard, and it's worth shouting out because I didn't know what was going to happen when this guy picked Omni. But basically, the build is Fades as you'd expect, Echo Saber, BKB. So really, there's nothing like crazy. Got the BKB at 21 minutes, so there's nothing like crazy about that build up. It's basically just the spells, right? It's basically just spells, and the build in terms of spells is this hammer, and so you max purification with the hammer. You don't bother with ult at all, so you're like 4/4. The hammer's the E, so you're 4/0/4, right? And then you get your talents and all the rest of it later. And he was flying, like doing so much work. Actually, I guess just the XP with the max hammer gets you in range to do a fat Q, and you're healing and sustaining, and you're really tanky. But it worked really, really well. And you'd think the hero falls off, but it really didn't. He got an Orchid, which was very good in the game because it helped us against the Void Spirit. And then he's just a tanky guy. AC, S and Y, Blink Dagger in the end as well. Sorry, that excuse me. No Blink Dagger, but yeah, the rest of it's true. Overwhelming Blink and BKB and stuff. And I just had a really good time on Slardar. I got to the absolute dream Slardar endgame where you've got enough attack speed to permabash someone, so you just kill them and there's literally nothing they can do.
Really? What?
Yeah.
Just with what items?
Ace. He says it's got AC and Moonshard and an Eaton Moonshard.
Yeah, I had AC, S and Y, Moonshard, and another Eaton Moonshard, and Treads.
Huh.
So I had like 1 billion attack speed. So I had Shard, so I didn't need to press my ult, which would have disrupted it. So I just stun. I just blink stun and then bash forever. Nothing they can do. Like I was against an OD and it's just like permabash. The only play they have against it is Aeon Disc, which OD bought. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Although I didn't have too long to enjoy it because obviously
their team the game end. Looking at it now, they had 4 Octarine cores. They almost had 5.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember you getting triggered by Void Spirit having like 3.5k HP or something.
Yeah, well, add it to the list. I'm just triggered. I'm just saying. That Void Spirit.
I'm gonna.
Anyways,
I'll flag something to Marco. The famous New Meta podcast mantra: "Cast spells, win games."
Mm-hmm.
My game earlier today was cast spells, lose game. And what I mean by that is... What
spell lost the game? What spell?
Blink on Quap.
Oh.
Not a stolen chrono. Interesting.
No. The game-losing spell is using Blink too aggressively. To like be able to use your other spells.
Yeah.
So don't blink on them and then use your spells and then instantly die, which is what I did.
It's funny because the mantra is real, use spells, win games, but there is a disclaimer of there is a set of spells in the game that shouldn't be skilled, such as, what was it, Burrow Strike maybe was one of them. No, Epicenter. There were a few spells.
Epicenter's,
I'll say Epicenter's one of them. Maybe Blink Quap is another, if you just don't know what you're doing. Oh, 2 balls to the wall. Just run around instead. Don't blink in and die.
I had an experience of that with a Void Time Walking In, another Blink type of spell. And, like, he goes into 3 of us, and the other 2 start walking away. I'm like, no, just hit him. Like, he's gifted us a kill, please. Yeah. And then everyone's like, oh, no, he's getting closer. We got to run. He's like, no, he can't. This is our moment. This is our chance.
He's actually weak.
Yeah. That was a rough one. The other thing that is really annoying is an old, terrible habit that I have reared its ugly head in this game.
Which one's this?
The terrible habit is automatically and instantly leveling up the highlighted spell from my guide without thinking. That's the habit that reared its ugly head in this game, because I was against a puck mid, and so I thought I'm not even going to bother getting a single point in Q. I'm just going to do the blink E max. And what I did instead was at 2 points where I should... But my guide was like the standard get loads of points in Q build. So what I did was leveled E at level 1, that's fine, I had enough time to think about it. And then level 2, snap level Q, and then hate myself.
Yeah.
Then get another point in E, then I think get a point in W, and then snap, give another level to Q before my ult. So then I've got this, like, I'm then like 2-2-2 or something. I was some really odd build. And like, I really needed to be 0-4-4 in this game, because Q doesn't really do anything. And I honestly, if I had level 4 Blink, I would have gotten out so easily so many times when the level 2 cooldown just like wrecked me hard.
Yeah.
So that was, that's really, don't do that.
Yeah.
To the point where I should probably level the default guide, which doesn't have highlighted.
Yeah.
But there's no way to not do a guide. You have to have a guide.
No, you can have the default, and the default doesn't tell you what to do.
Yeah,
Wait.
the default doesn't, but the default still gives you items.
You can't have a guide?
You have to have a guide.
Well, Valve default. You can have.
the default guide, yeah.
It's not a guide. It's not
I guess
a guide,
I haven't even
though.
noticed that I have highlighted spells when you level up.
That's only if you've got a guide. Stan's claiming the default Valve is a guide, but it's not. All it's got is some default items.
It means you've got to use the shop manually, though. It really sucks.
Use the shop.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't use the shop. I have all the items that I need in the guide, and I just click them.
Stan's acting like he's made an active choice to have the right items. He's just mindlessly following the guide.
This sounds like a price you pay for having that convenience that one every 100 games it ruins your skill build.
Yeah. It ruins my skill build more than one every 100 game. I'd say it ruins it like 1 in 3. I'd say, actually, is that true? Actually, that's not true. What it does is it makes me not think about skill build, which is even worse. So the true answer is it ruins every game, because
we actually try to preach active thinking here, and you are actually talking about inactive thinking.
I'm thinking about
autopilot.
Not thinking.
Autopilot,
yeah.
Yeah. So don't do that. Maybe I should just do default guide now for every game, and I'll report how it goes next week on the podcast.
Yeah, surely you're experienced enough to.
Yeah.
Is that what it contributed to your PUD performance in the last game?
See, the PUD is an interesting one, because
don't
again,
have the taco guide on.
There's a taco. Is there a legit taco PUD guide out there?
Well, you can go on my replays free of charge.
Right, because there's a legit Magic TOD guide out in the ethos somewhere, published.
Is there actually?
Stan's OD, yes.
Oh no.
Class build, actually. I can't remember what the build is. Should I try and find it here? Should we see what the Stan? Should we see what the Stan OD build is?
If we go on demo, can we find it?
Where are we?
How recent of a?
Here we go. Stan's
Is
OD.
this possible?
The patch is glitched, so I don't know which patch it came out, but it says 135.160, which isn't a thing. Have I given descriptions? I haven't given descriptions.
You're actually on Browse All Guides.
I think so, yeah.
Like when you're in game.
I'm on the guide section of the Learn tab, or the Heroes tab, or whatever. I don't know if you can find it though, but it might not have enough upvotes to show for you guys. It might not have enough percentage, because I can only see ones that have a percentage above like 50. Oh no, I can see one here with 0%. Anyway, it's just called Stan's OD.
Stan's OD.
Do you get on this front page? These are all 7.31. Maybe.
No, I'm not going to get on the front page. Yeah, these are all quite
just
late.
Is it just you?
Maybe only I can see it. But anyway, WEWEWEQ. W. I mean, that's not actually the build these days, but that's the build back then. God, this build won me some games, tell you that. Null. Back when you went Null, Iron Branch, Fairy. Could you really start with that back in the day? Null Iron Branch Fairy. Well, that's a lot. And then you get given 2 tangos. And then you get another Null Treads 4-star. 4-star first item. Finish the Pike. Blink Hex BKB. See, I actually am a big believer in that build, even now, over the Meteor Hammer. I'm not a believer in Meteor Hammer OD. I actually think you just get towards the point where you have Blink BKB Hex as soon as possible. So, and I think 4-star, I think Pike's like too good not to get. So I think you get Pike, or maybe you get one part of that, be it Dragonlance, be it 4-star. Then you go Blink BKB. Then you go Hex. Or like maybe you go Shiva instead of Hex if the game's right for it. But I don't think you bother with this Meteor Hammer stuff, personally. And I don't think you go... Remember when everyone went Midas on OD? Wow. This is a blast from the past. So I've got Midas on situational. So I knew what I was doing back then. I was actively thinking back then that it was situational. You know, set myself up for success in the game. I have nothing else to flag in terms of my games other than that I just lost a Pudge with Adam, a Pudge POS 1, Marco. So that'll make me feel sad.
That is pretty sad. Was it your first time? 6 minute.
Yeah, I think so.
Ring of Health. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, so I blame I had a POS 5 Mirana, which is, and like Mirana Pudge lane is just terrible because you got 2 heroes with like skill shot spells that are bad. So what I needed my Mirana to do was wait for the Dawnbreaker to start using Q and then arrow, because that's an easy arrow. But that didn't happen.
There were no easy arrows that game.
Yeah,
this Mirana missed a hero in cogs alone from a range of like 300.
Oh no.
Tough game.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about TI and sort of heroes and meta all in one big subject, Kazam. I mean, looking forward to TI, it's not too long. It's just around the corner, and all of the regional qualifiers have now wrapped up. So all we are left with are 12 qualified teams. 12 invited teams through the DPC, 6 more qualified teams, and 2 teams yet to be decided in the last chance qualifier. Marco, how sad are you that it's not TI3?
Oh boy, yeah, it's definitely a new era now. When you look at particularly for the Western Europe teams, I mean, even for the Eastern Europe teams, you've got so much new blood flowing through, which is cool. It's cool, but I am sad to see a lot of familiar faces not make it. Although, like you say, there is the last chance qualifier, which on paper looks like a major. You got Vici Gaming, T1, Extreme Gaming, Paparazzi, all the 11. So you've even got some solid kind of Asian teams. And then the Western powerhouse like Secret, Liquid, VP, Na'Vi. So, I mean, a lot of cool orgs and players fighting out there. But, yeah, it's kind of weird, the final 12, 16 we've got. I'm going to be rooting for China, number 1.
What?
Then EG. I mean, EG first, obviously, then China, then I'm scraping after that.
I can't believe the China. It's not even because you want China to win. It's just because you don't want like Tundra to win or something.
Nah, I'm a big fan of Chinese. Ever since bloody TI 8, I was like that PSG LGD team. I was keen for them. They were super stack. So I can get behind LGD again. I can get behind.
Can you get behind Ori Snorri? Aster?
I can get behind that. Ori Snorri.
He's not Snorri anymore. He's actually transformed. He's actually such a sicko now. He doesn't play Deucer and Troll anymore. He plays like Puck, Quap, and Storm. Honestly, he's a new man.
The RNG, that was it, with Somnus, Chalice, Kaka, X Nova.
Yeah,
that was cool. Somnus playing some real heroes. That team were playing some. They were playing some spellcasters. I like to see that. No kind of weird sweaty drafts. They were just casting spells. So honestly, the Chinese geezers I am all for. I don't mean if I was ranking all my players, about 15 out of the top 20 would be Chinese at this point, and then the next 5 would be EG.
Nice.
So yeah, a lot of new blood.
How do you? Are you gonna? You said you had nothing to offer, Adam, but can you give some NA spice or something?
I couldn't even name the teams that are qualified.
Get on the Wikipedia.
I rolled. They gave out those stickers or whatever, and I'm like, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got a Tundra sticker, and I was like, "I wanted an EG sticker." That's basically what it came down to.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's got to feel bad if you're like Sumail or Miracle failing to qualify for a tournament that has this at the same time there's a SA stack that have qualified where I haven't heard of any of their players. Literally haven't heard of any of them.
Let me look at the list.
This Hokori team, Lumia, Analog. Wait, Analog? Isn't that a guy that did YouTube videos and he's just qualified for TI? That's pretty cool.
Is that?
There was a guy called Analog that literally did YouTube vids, unless it's a different guy. It's probably a different guy, not to be fair. But his career earnings...
I'm just gonna, this on brand, I'm just gonna cheer for OG to lose, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh
New stack, same feeling.
Yeah, no cheering for anybody to win. It's just, as long as one team doesn't win, I'll be happy.
But they feed off that energy, which is what's annoying. It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, well, they don't know. They don't have any idea who I am. That's just is all personal meditations, really.
I don't think they feed off it as much as they used to.
Seb standing in.
I have a bigger question, though. See, I have a bigger question. What's worse, Adam? OG winning TI or T1 winning TI who have Anna and Topson on the roster?
Oh my god.
Topson's on T1.
Are they qualified?
They're in the last chance qualifier.
What? Topson's playing? Oh my god.
Topson and Anna are in the same stack.
That would be hype.
It's tough because I actually have been known to watch a Topson YouTube video every now and again.
He plays, he's pretty fun to watch.
But the Anna hate's pretty strong.
Imagine if Anna wins 3 TIs. I would rather that than OG.
Yeah, I think I have to. I don't want the 3-time, so I think I would go with.
Because it's kind of fake if Anna wins it. It's like, no one really knows it. I mean, he's just a bit.
Well, it's just like this guy doesn't even play all the time. He just shows up. Yeah. It's just like someone can't be that good. It's too discouraging for the rest of us if someone can show up part-time and then not do any of the events during the year, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to qual and win TI again.
Yeah. I personally I really want... I think it'd be really fun if TI come in, because I also love Cuckoo. I really like Cuckoo as the 3. I think he's fun.
That's true. I like Cuckoo.
Yeah.
You can't be mixing these players I like with these players I don't like.
Also, because it's in Singapore, I get another SEA team in there, for the hype. I think Topson's fun to watch just in general, so I would like that. But then it's so tough because there's so many A1 teams in this last chance qualifier that I'd happily see in.
This looks like it could be a TI with these Secret and Liquid.
Yeah,
Pro.
I don't care for Liquid personally, but I think Secret. Actually, I think just Secret or T1. I'd be happy with either of them, or VP. Actually, I'd like to see VP. I quite like the VP stuff. Yeah, I think that's quite fun.
The love of Zai, is just so strong that it single-handedly pulls Liquid across the line of wanting them to do well. Team Secret just isn't even the same team anymore.
Yeah, Secret's really quite different.
Yeah.
I guess I'd cheer for this Nouns team.
Ugh.
Gunner and Z.
Gunner. Oh, that Nouns team. Oh my god. I actually can't believe they're professional gamers.
Marco hates on NA so hard. Have you seen
players?
No, but have you seen Wildcard Gaming? It's even worse. I don't know who.
Could you imagine if one of these NA teams
wins.
Makes it.
That'd be sick, yeah.
Dalai Lama's world class, apparently. He's
really
34k. Yeah, he reached 10k MMR in 2022. Belgium. I don't know why I know Dalai Lama, but the name rings a bell.
Yeah.
I
think T1's kind of well positioned to get out of this.
Yeah.
Last chance.
They'll be a good team. 2 Singapore players, the hype.
Whitemon is an absolute fantasy god. So
yeah, he is.
If they make it through, put him in.
Yeah. Oh man, I do wish Nigma weren't so bad with Miracle Sumail. Godlike duo are actually crap now. Because then with the secret stack, it is just Puppy carrying it.
Niche is absolute god mode. I think Puppy's like Puppy's like
just
borderline drain. Like the drafting is, at least when I don't know how much of like the Gork stream you watched when they had like, mate, the number of players that come onto Gork stream to commentate is insane. Like I was watching it, and throughout the games, I haven't seen too much finals coverage. I saw a bit of it, but I watched Secret Liquids on Gork, and he had Crit on there, he had Saxor on there, he had 33 on there, he had Skitter on there, he had Seb on there, he had Amar, the fucker, on there. He had everyone, he had the entire roster, but like a lot of them were like pretty critical of Puppy drafting, and it's above my head, obviously, I don't know, but just based on what they're saying, I'm basically parroting what they say, where they say like Niche is an absolute god mode, and Puppy is like sometimes, I mean, I don't know, it's Puppy draft, so how critical can you be? He's like a goat player, so. Yeah,
I mean, Niche is good, and it's mad he's only 21.
That's crazy.
Well, he's about to turn 22, but yeah, that's still so young. And he has been around for ages, and I remember like 3-4 years ago him choking at TI and whatnot, and he was so young at the time that he's now, pretty solid beast. Character-wise, got nothing to give, I don't really think, but is a beast on sweaty mids like a Morphlin or something. He plays these mid heroes that aren't traditional mids, so can't really love him that much.
Rezo's pretty hype as well. Rezo TI,
a bit of a veteran.
Let's go. Yeah, but also Rezo is the anti-Nisha. He gets to TI and he goes god mode.
Yeah,
everyone knows that.
Yeah, it's an interesting stack Puppy's got. I mean, it's mad that he's kept re-rolling stacks, and it must be.
He is secret now at this point. Like Puppy and Secret is it's just inseparable as like a brand. Anything else we want to talk about on TI? Should we talk about some of the games more in depth? We talked about some of this new blood. A shout out to Entity because they won the Western Europe qualifier, which was obviously mega stacked with Nigma, Secret, Team Liquid, other heroes, other teams. But they basically didn't drop a single game, did they? Yeah. They literally 2-0'd everyone and then 3-0'd Secret in the final.
Which is insane, yeah.
Insane, yeah. And looked very good. And I would shout out, straight off the back, I'd shout out their one, Pure, who was gaming. At least in the grand finals, he was like, looked real good. And their supports have that annoying thing where they like pick annoying stuff like Chen Undying and then just like play it, execute it like really, really well. They just look really solid.
5-0 against Team Secret in the upper bracket in grand final. It's quite the statement.
Yeah, certainly. We'll see them at TI. We'll see what they do. Yeah. See how it lasts. See how they fare up against other regions' teams. And yeah, it almost wouldn't surprise me in this last chance if it's like, oh yeah, Extreme Gaming and Vici just remind everyone that like China's a sick region and then they just win. It wouldn't be that surprising, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's China over everything, and then Marco's just like, yeah, I'm so glad I'm China's #1 fan now.
Yeah. This, just my final point on the tournament structure, it's like we've got 3 tournaments because this last chance qualifier is 5 days, 2 group stage, 3 playoffs. That's a major. And then you've got the first stage of TI Well, no, it's like 4 tournaments, because then you've got group stage, and then you've got first stage of main event, which is over 4 days, and then you've got a break, and then you've got the last 2 days of main event. So it's really quite like a month festival of Dota endless.
Yeah. Don't they go? Well, they go to TI. All these last chance qualifiers, they go to Singapore for that. So it's literally...
Is it?
Yeah, they have to, because they're all different regions. They all go to LAN Singapore.
God,
because that's what Seb was saying, because apparently they did this once before, like some wild card they used to do, and he was saying it's like the worst feeling when you go to Singapore. Think about how many teams are going to be there. There's going to be all the TI teams, and there's going to be, 12 more teams from this qualifier? And then, you know, all of those teams bar 2 in the qualifier are going to just go home instantly without ever making it to TI. And there's also no prize pool, so the teams get wrecked if they don't qualify, because they're going to have to go there. They're going to go there in advance. They're going to have to boot camp. I mean, presumably Valve covers expenses, you would hope, but there's no prize pool, so you could very well get all the way to the lower bracket final, play all these group games, then play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 series of Dota, lose and win no money. So that is kind of nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, so it's 18 teams at main event already, 12 in the last chance qualifier. So that's 30 teams.
That's a lot.
Hopping around. That is quite high. Yeah, it is a pre-major, basically.
Yeah. It's a lot of MMR in one hotel, I can tell you that.
Oh my god, yeah.
Think about those SEA pubs. They're going to be pretty hype as well. It's going to be, literally, there's always going to be a pub in SEA that's got 10 pros in it for the whole of TI, I feel like.
Yeah.
With that many players, yeah.
I mean, given that OG are going to be in the grand final of Misha, there's going to be pubs which are like a better 5v5 than the grand final.
Yeah.
No, Misha's sick. I am interested. Does Seb kind of kidnap someone and play? Is that the strategy? Because it sounds like Seb is the key to success.
Certainly.
I mean,
yeah. OG, so they finished second in DPC, which is quite crazy. But I feel like aren't the vast majority of those DPC points gained when Misha isn't playing? They're
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see.
Because he's been grinding as well. He's been grinding pubs. I was watching Gork stream, and he was on Seb's profile, and he'd been playing like 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. non-stop. And he's like, this is someone who's apparently retired and apparently like the third coach of a team, just grinding. So he's ready to step in.
Ready for like a mysterious COVID outbreak that has been traced to like a laboratory in France.
Yeah, they can make it happen.
So we can keep playing Wind Ranger.
Heroes and stuff, I wanted to shout out Undying. This is like a first bannable hero at the moment, and I want to go on the record and say that I hate it. I'm channeling Adam energy. This hero is so grim to play against when it's a core. And I hate it. Echo Saber, phase boots, whatever, get a Lotus, get a Blink, whatever you want, Halberd, whatever you want. Plop a tombstone down, you can't fight into it, turn on your golem, run someone down with with Q and do 1 trillion damage to them. I dislike it a lot and I want it to go away, but I don't know if you have anything else to add on this, or indeed any other heroes that you've seen in games.
I don't enjoy that hero in my games. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
He gains a lot of... He's just huge. All the extra health. I don't know at what point they added an extra last hit on Tombstone at level 1. 5 hits instead of 4. It's kind of a big deal. Decay is annoying.
Yeah. It's a big deal because people get it. You can leave at 1.1 though. You just go like Q Tombstone, Q, W, Alt, Q, max, so you've got max Q, then go back to it at level 8. You just don't even care.
What does the ult apply? It's like is it damage amp, or is it...
What does it not apply? I mean, it's slow, 50% slow around you, damage amplification, and a strength multiplier.
Why is he so popular now, though?
Lasts for 40 seconds.
What's the change?
I don't think his ult used to slow.
His ult's better, but isn't it... So there's this incremental changes, and also people have started playing it core, which has made it like more flexible. So it's that classic thing of like, well, it's a flex pick now because you can play at pos 1 and you can play at pos 3. Yeah.
I also think an idea, so how games take longer. So you spend more time at lower levels because you need more XP to ding these days, and it's harder to come by XP, etc. I do feel like Derge is a hero where those early to mid game levels, he is a relatively very strong hero, and then late game, fine, can drop off. But therefore, if you're spending more of the game where you're in that sweet spot of Derge with 2 spells maxed, that's when Derge can ruffle stomp.
Yeah, totally. Just to run through some changes though. So his cast points were increased on. His cast points were increased. I see. So the cast point was improved on Decay, but made worse on Tombstone. Interesting. And also improved on Soul Rip. So some cast point changes that presumably are minor. And yeah, they buffed Decay at level 4. That's quite minor. Nothing really. More just probably patch gameplay things affecting it really. But it's certainly mega strong.
A hero where it is strong spells, and it's almost like a hero less reliant on gold. When
he's just a big dumb guy that stands in the way with no gold, like you said. So I want to kill this other hero, but I have a 2000 HP slowing damage amper, and I also want to like focus on this Tombstone too. It's just a lot of...
Yeah. In the pro scene, I would say it's less of a core than it is in the pub scene. In the pub scene, it's core a lot. In the pro scene, you'll see it go to support, and then it's like old Undying. Do you remember back in the day, Undying was like, oh, you pick this hero, congratulations, you've won a lane, and somewhere along the line that changed. I mean, originally it was congrats, you've won a lane, but then the hero's like actually totally terrible. But now I feel like it's gone back to congrats, you've won a lane. And also the hero isn't as useless as it used to be going forward, because Flesh Golem in its own right is a good spell, even on a support. And also you can buy, there's so many more item choices now, even on the support role. Like you can just you can just build a Wraith Pact if you want. You can just build a Holy Locket if you want. These items didn't used to exist, and they like fill a slot that's quite nice. So that could be another reason why you see it. Certainly also on this slower game point, plays into exactly what Marco just said, and that applies to the support as well. Like as a support, you're going to be fighting over objectives at lower levels, and you just simply can't fight into Tombstone, and that applies for longer into the game. Like I feel like pros are really good at using Tombstone in like annoying ways as well to condition objectives.
Yeah, the vision and like a high ground 2-stone and those strategic choices of where to fight they're very good at. But yeah, I do agree that in a previous patch it's a hero that is slow with long cooldown spells that wouldn't really keep up with the game flow, but it does feel like even those towers staying alive for longer. Well, what a great tower defense hero, smack a Tombstone down, super hard to fight into. So yeah, it does feel like the game likes a Dirge. I don't mind that. I'm surprised Adam's such a hater. I think
of what?
Of Dirge as a hero.
I love to play Dirge. I hate to play against Dirge.
Yeah.
I don't mind Dirge support. I'm fine with that. It's the Dirge core that really triggers me. That I hate playing against Dirge core because it's just an unkillable hero that bops you to death in ult, and there's like nothing you can do. You literally can't kill him. He's one of those cores that you literally can't kill. It's like a Timber that's popped off, even though he's got no gold. It's like so frustrating to play against, and then just like slaps you so hard with ult. Oh, and then also has this Tombstone spell that like doesn't even need to be cast for the hero to be good. Very annoying, very annoying. Is there any other stuff that we want to flag as like being really good? Maybe from the carry perspective, I know Faceless Voiders has seen some action. I don't know how we feel about that, or indeed any other things to shout out that we've noticed.
Yeah, so I don't know. The Void's interesting one. It's got the 5th highest pick and ban in the Western European regional quals. Only managed to get picked 9 times, but was banned 33 times. So really often banned. When it made it through, it won 5 times, lost 2 times, which is decent. No, 7 wins, 2 losses, which is pretty good. Always like just big team fight, slower game, so your cooldowns are always ready. That kind of vibe. Yeah,
another hero that people have been complaining about loads is Death Prophet.
Yeah, that's the most picked here in this quals.
Impossible to kill. Did you see the clip where there was a Death Prophet that got ruptured and just ran through it because it had a Spirit Siphon on someone?
Oh, really?
Like, the Spirit Siphon heals you for more than the rupture damages you for. It's like, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And the hero, obviously, Exo is just... Exorcism is Exorcism. But I think what makes the hero completely broken at the moment, from a pro scene perspective, is the Spirit Siphon is just so strong. So they changed it from being percentage-based. So it's no longer as good against heroes like Bristle or mega fat heroes later on in the game. But in the early to mid game, you're actually just a completely unstoppable monster. And because of this Exo spell, you literally can go Travels BKB and it's fine. You can just rush BKB and it's fine. You can go Travels, BKB, Aeon Disc, and that's like totally an acceptable build if you can win the game. Which you can. And that's like very common. Because honestly, Travels is a damage item because of Exo. So, you know, you get right up close to them with Exo and you're doing 1 billion damage. So.
Crop's an interesting one because there have been some strong changes to her spells. And yeah, they've tried to address it. So like say Siphon, make it percentage now. But it still doesn't matter because it's still a good spell. And then also the Shard for 1.4k to give you an extra charge, to give you that fear. I mean, I don't know if they're getting it every game, but that's a high impact shard when you're built around Siphon. Then also interested on the Exo. So a change in 7.32 was base movement speed went from 325, which was Rapido, to 285, 40 movement speed Dunk, which is a hell of a lot. But then they gave Exo passive movement speed bonus. So now, like you say, with the Boots of Travel first, people are going, well, okay, we've lost some MS natural, but we'll now rush a Boots of Travel to account for that. Oh, and now we've got an Exo, which is giving us percentage movement speed bonus on top of our Boots of Travel Windlace. Okay, now we're 500 MS. Oh, and we're now just running people down with Siphon.
Yeah, because you can't escape from Siphon anymore because they've got 1 billion move speed. Or whatever.
So they try to address... It's like they've not... Yeah, I don't think a hero should a hero be able to run anyone down with just one item, Boots of Travel, and a Siphon that lasts infinitely because you've got multiple charges? I don't know.
Why not? Every other hero does a million things.
It does feel a bit obnoxious though when you literally run down anyone.
Yeah.
Unless you bring like 5 heroes to the table.
It does seem like the best hero in the game in the pro scene at ending the game. Because of this change to Spirit Siphon, it doesn't scale as well anymore. Yeah. Because of the max heal isn't there. The max health as damage isn't there. But then they've just massively buffed all the base damage numbers, so presumably it's just way better in the mid game when you like max it first. And you're unkillable because of the heal. You're really difficult to go on. You build BKB and you've got this travels. You pop Exo and it's like, what are you gonna do now? Like, you're nuts. You're so fast, and you just kill them. Who needs to have like a stun or a disable when you've got, when you've got boots of travel and you've got plus 20 or plus 15% move speed bonus or whatever, and you've got Spirit Siphon slow.
It's
you just you like TP rotate, and it's like, who needs Dream Coil on your mid when you've got like a trillion MS with Spirit Siphon? So it's a very good hero.
You get so close to killing, and then all the ghosts come back to 100.
Yeah. Or you just get so close to killing them and then they just Spirit Siphon you and they don't care. They run through Rupture. That's how much they don't care. Yeah, I mean, DP, good hero.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to give a shout out to?
I enjoyed watching, I think it was the grand final of China Quals, and I think it was Extreme Gaming, the Paparazzi stack had Enigma a couple times, and in the Western EU pick ban stats, Enigma is featured highly, is actually the most pick and banned hero, 47 bans, 12 picks, so very, people don't want Enigma in the pool, and again, it's kind of a game-winning hero when you're going late, and you need that black hole to win the late game team fights, etc. What was really cool was watching RNG. They had a Venge one game, they had a Warlock another, I think they had a Beastmaster another game as well. They had all these answers for the Enigma and always got these cancels off. And it was really quite cool to see again, like a Warlock, a big ultimate hero. Yeah, it was impressive gameplay. But yeah, it was that Enigma pick, Enigma flavour. I've seen Seb in pubs playing Enigma a fair bit as well. Feels like it's that meta for an Enigma. But I think it's a cool hero to see get counted.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I like seeing an Enigma get counted with some stuff. Warlock POS 5. Right. All the POS 5s out there are crying that they have to play Warlock. But,
yeah, it's like who can cast the spells better, position themselves better. It's quite cool to watch. And yeah, with these games, it was going to be interesting to see how long. It seems like either it's a stomp and it does end kind of fast / reasonable amount of time in like 10% of cases, 20% of cases, but then 80% of games it feels like we are seeing them go long, and even if people are winning it, they go for a 20k, 25k lead before they can eventually win. Games are going long, and at TI that just invites choke and wobbles and extreme stuff, which for a viewer can be very exciting. So it's going to be interesting seeing this TI with what feels like quite a different meta to the last couple of years. And just, how naturally slow the game is, or longer the game is. Hopefully teams don't get too fatigued playing like 45-minute games.
Yeah, for like a month as well.
Yeah. You can't rely on like 30, 35-minute wins anymore. It's like you got to grind out 45-minute wins.
On that China qualifier, I'll just shout out a very, very cool stat, which is Somnus's average KDA.
Oh.
So this is just across the 3 games, because it was a 3-0 for RNG. So he averaged 18.3 kills, 1.7 deaths, and 13.7 assists. So that is actually phenomenal. Think about how many kills that is for a pro scene game. And to be fair, the game 2 went an hour, but still like 18-2. But that's basically 18-2. And with 14 assists. Very good.
Damn.
Somnus God.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, let's leave it at that for this week's Podaroo. Next week, we'll be back again, I think. Hopefully we should be back on the straight and narrow. We're back on the wagon, for weekly eps. And TI around the corner, so I'll be looking forward to that ever more as it gets ever closer. So until then, have a final whistle. We'll see you again.